Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's Mr. Scott.
Silver-tongued devil, bring the pain. Wicked words driving insane. Twisted path, hearts he rends. No salvation, no amends.
And today on the channel, we're going to have some fun here. I'm going to do something I haven't done quite some time, doing a list video that is also hopefully going to become a thread on YouTube. Recently, I checked out a video from my very good friend, my would-be long-lost son, ThrashManiac99, and he did a video on his channel, and it was a video where he listed 10 non-metal albums that metalheads would enjoy. And it's a great video. I highly recommend you check it out. I'm going to put the link to his channel down in the description so you can see it. And it was very inspiring to me because this is a conversation that me and many other my elder metalhead friends have talked about for years. You know, like this song from this band, it's like it's metal, but it's not metal. You know, or this artist is like somewhat metal, but not considered metal, that kind of thing. And the concept of metal bands covering non-metal songs goes back decades. You know, we can look at all the stuff that Metallica did, and Megadeth, and Anthrax, and Slayer, and, you know, the songs like Disturbed doing The Sound of Silence, or Typo Negative doing Summer Breeze, or something like that. So it's been done for decades. But I say, let's start a brand new playlist. A brand new playlist starts right here, right now, with metal bands covering non-metal songs, but the big caveat is it cannot have already been done. It can't be one that's been already recorded. It's got to be a brand new combination of artist and music. So I'm going to get you started here today with 5 for this playlist. And if you are a YouTube content creator and you are a metalhead, like I said, let's get a thread going here. So come up with your own list of metal bands to cover non-metal songs that have not been done yet that you'd love to hear. Tag me in the video if you want to. That'd be very cool. And if you are a metalhead but don't have a YouTube channel, that's what the comment section is for. So load it up. Give me the best ones you can think of, whether they're serious ideas or silly ideas or whatever. I'd be very interested to know. And if I get enough of them, I'm going to do another video listing off the complete playlist. So that's what I'm going to be doing here for this video. I'm going to give you 5, like I said. So let's get into it. Number 1, there was a band that came out in the early 1980s. There were a super group of musicians that were comprised of 70s prog rock bands like Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Yes, and King Crimson. The band was called Asia, and off their debut album, their big hit was called Heat of the Moment. This got a lot of radio play, and it was on MTV a lot, you know, their music video on there, which now that I say that, I realize that MTV, I think, is supposed to cease to exist at the end of this year. Oh, my God. I was 6 when that channel started, and now I'm 50 and the channel is ending. Wow. Okay. Focus. Back into the business here. So, Heat of the Moment by Asia. And it's got that great distortion sound to it, that synth sound that the 80s were so known for. John Wetton's great vocal delivery, so strong in its delivery too. So it's almost like a pre-power metal type sound to it. So I say, let's give a modern day power metal band a shot at this song. So I say track 1, Heat of the Moment from Asia, is covered by Sabaton. Why not a little Swedish power metal twist on this radio hit? I think it'd be a lot of fun to check out. The next song I'm going to be talking about here comes from a band called Blondie. Blondie was one of those new wave / punk bands that came out of the underground in New York City and CBGBs and the Bowery scene in the late 70s there and early 80s. Bands like Talking Heads, Television, Blondie, and famously the Ramones all came out of that scene. So Blondie is a band very well synonymous with that time period, and a big hit that they had was a song entitled Call Me. And this one's got a good driving feel to it. It feels like it's got this ongoing vibe to it. It's got this cool breakdown in the middle. It kind of slows down, but the big factor of this song is the vocals of Debbie Harry, the lead vocalist. She had presence, she had sex appeal, she had attitude. You know, she just had so much going on there. She was like a punk rock goddess. And the song is great. You know, it's a fun song to listen to. So I'm thinking, okay, you need to have strong musicianship. You got to have a dynamic front person who should probably be a woman. So why not Call Me from Blondie, covered by Unleash the Archers? give their power metal and prog metal twist to that classic right there. That, I think, would be a lot of fun to check out. And that's the big thing here. Let's have fun with this. You know, I said down in, if you want to put in the comments or in your videos, you want to be serious or you want to be silly or whatever, that's all good. But this is all about having fun and dreaming about what kind of combinations can we create as diehard metal fans. So there you go. There's 2 of the 5. Now, next up, we're going to get a little serious here because in the 70s, there was a man from Canada who was a singer-songwriter named Gordon Lightfoot. And he did this infamous gloom story song called The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. The story goes that Gordon read about this story in a newspaper about this tragic freighter that went down, and the crew unfortunately perished with the drowning of everyone on this ship. And it was only like this big of an article. And that was not good enough for Mr. Lightfoot. He was like, I'm going to write a song about this. He did, and it's made the story so much more well-known around the world. But like I said, it is a gloomy tale. It's very sad. It's simplistic, too, in its arrangement, but it's got a hook to it, and you can't help but remember it and get into the anguish and the emotion and the sadness of it. So I think we got to get into some doom/death doom type sound for this one. And there's so many bands you could pick from, I think, from that genre, that whole universe of doom and death doom type sound. But I'm going to say, let's give it to, I think, one of the bands that has a big pedigree in that genre. So The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald from Gordon Lightfoot, covered by Paradise Lost. Now, you might be thinking, well, what about this band, this band? Hey, that's fine. Put that down in the comments, too. These songs have not been recorded, so if you want to take a song that I am listing here and put a different band to it, let me know. That's all good, too. It all counts, okay? Just has not been done, so put it down there, too. But, yeah, Paradise Lost putting a death doom vibe on this classic. Next up, it was a one-hit wonder from the late 1980s. It was a tune from a woman named Alana Miles, and it was called Black Velvet. This one is silky, it's bluesy, it's just got this not anger, but it's got this attitude to it, this grit. And Alana Miles has this sultry blues, sexy delivery with her voice there. The song does not go like really heavy or crazy fast, but it is just a constant blues march coming right at you. And her delivery, so phenomenal, so memorable. It's a great song. So I'm thinking, all right, you got to have strong musicianship. You got to have attitude. A female lead singer wouldn't hurt as well. And with grit and power and all that stuff. So, I'm sorry. Alana Miles, Black Velvet, covered by Hailstorm. Lizzie Hale, let's tap her and bring her crew in there and let them have at it with this song. I think they would absolutely destroy and do great with it. And finally, the song I'm going to pick last of this list goes into the huge genre of Southern rock. You know, in the 60s, you had guys in the South who were getting into playing guitar. They were listening to blues from the South. They loved country music, but they were also getting influences from England and bands coming out of that area like Cream and the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, Black Sabbath, and so forth. So they were compiling all these sounds together to create what became known as Southern rock. The Allman Brothers Band, 38 Special, Marshall Tucker, but I'm going to go with one of the biggest ones, Lynyrd Skynyrd, and their song, Gimme Back My Bullets. This one, once again, attitude, straightforward, pounding with its delivery. Ronnie Van Zant's, and his delivery, attitude, once again, I keep using that word, I apologize, but it just has that. It has that force to it. Like, you think you're going to mess with me? No, come on, brother. Let's see what you're going to see what happens when you come on my property. So, with this one, the first band that came to mind was Metallica, but we know Metallica has done Lynyrd Skynyrd in the past, so we're not going to go there. And I actually thought about, what about the reunited, tributed Pantera? You know, they did the tour this year. I don't know if they're going to be recording anything new, but I was like, no, that's not really, doesn't really work. And then it hit me. Zakk Wylde, Black Label Society. Black Label Society doing Gimme Back My Bullets by Lynyrd Skynyrd. Tell me, Zakk Wylde with his monstrous fingers there, just going nuts on the fretboard there and delivering those great lyrics. I think, mwah, chef's kiss right there. Now, I did Google this one, and I know there was a band called Weed Eater that did a cover of this song. I've never heard the band, I've never heard the song, so I guess a little bit of an asterisk with this one, but still, it hasn't been done. So again, I think it fits. Black Label Society doing Give Me Back My Bullets by Lynyrd Skynyrd. So there you have it, my friends. There's your first 5 songs to get you going. Tag me in videos if you want to. Fill up the comments section. I really want to see what we can come up with for crazy, cool, fun ideas for this thread. Thanks again to ThrashManiac99 for the inspiration of this. His link will be down in the description. Also down there's links to all kinds of social media from me, my TeePublic merch store, my Twitch account where I go live every week and I play music on there. And find out how you can join up at this channel. It's only $2.99 a month and you get all kinds of cool benefits. So check that out if you wouldn't mind. I thank you very much for stopping by, my friends. You keep those horns high and never stop playing.